Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in Form. Today we are joined by Jenna and Rachel from the Dubois County Substance Abuse Council. Again, on the couch, it is Jenna Bieker Jones as well as Rachel Trabant from TriCap, and then you also are a licensed social worker with all other qualifications. But in general, you both work on the Dubois County Substance Abuse Council. So welcome.
Thank you.
So we have a National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day coming up in Dubois County, and I'd love to hear more about it from either of you.
Today, this year's Spring Drug Take-Back Day is April 22nd. It is on Saturday. We are having it at the ISP post from 10 to 2 o'clock. And then the two county sites at the fire departments will be St. Anthony and then Ireland Fire Station from 10 to 12.
Yes, and so these are all taking place in the morning on a Saturday morning, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's good to know, and there's different places around the county where you can distribute these things.
They have a 24/7 at the Jasper Police Department that you can take it to, or CVS and Walgreens has them too whenever their pharmacy's operating during those hours.
So what type of items are you guys accepting? Of course, the title for this is National Prescription Drug Take Back, but is there other things that kind of fall into that category? What's to be expected?
So TriCap has been doing medication collection since 2002, and then they are in collaboration with the DEA Drug Take Back Day. So we've been working together with that. And for this collection, we're no longer taking liquids. So then we are accepting vape pens and e-cig devices. So last October, we were able to get around 50 pounds of vape pens.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, consumers do have to remove the batteries from the e-cigarettes just because there's that spontaneous combustion risk. And then we are not accepting sharps either. So really looking mostly for pills.
Okay.
And sometimes the vape pens do not allow you to remove the batteries, so we will not accept those at all.
Okay. So why would someone, instead of just throwing their drugs in a drawer somewhere, their junk drawer, or throwing them in the trash, or just throwing them who knows where, why should they save them and bring them to this type of event or take them to a drop box versus just throwing them away?
Well, we know where they're going to go. Specifically, they go up to Cavanta and they get incinerated. So after we collect all of them, the DEA takes them up there, and then we know that they're probably, out of the hands of anybody who may want to get those pills.
Yeah, so I think what Rachel is saying is we're really trying to reduce access to medication. So as someone who works a lot with individuals in recovery, I hear a lot about, when I was in my depths of addiction, I would use whatever I could find. And so we are trying to make whatever they can find non-existent,
yes.
right? Cleaning out your cabinets and getting rid of that medication, you know where it's going, you know it's in safe hands, and it's not going to be misused. Mm-hmm. So I think, for me as a professional in the field, last year, half of Dubois County's cases were related to drugs, right? Mm-hmm. All the criminal cases that were happening, over half, drugs. We had a member of JPD come to our Substance Abuse Council meeting and talk about last month, over half of their arrests, drugs.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a problem here, and I think getting rid of your medication in a way that is safe is one of the smallest but most impactful things you can do to help reduce drug misuse in our area.
Yeah, and so again, just trying to quash that source of something that can become harmful. What if someone's kind of apprehensive about giving away, per se, their drugs? Like, they might be expired, they might not. They might use them anymore, they might not. But, for example, maybe not everybody has insurance that pays for all of these drugs. So they paid for these drugs, why should they give them to you versus just keeping them even if they're expired or past their prime?
I love this question, actually. So I think a couple things here. If you have a new injury or something comes up, you do need to see a medical professional again, in which case you will be provided with prescriptions. Additionally, there are a ton of resources in our community for things of that nature. TriCap has free healthcare navigators. There are assistance programs where if you need help with your medication, you need to reach out. So I think I understand that point. I have anxiety myself. I like to be prepared, right? I want to have that stuff on hand. But I don't think the risk is greater than like the reward of having that reduction in access.
Yeah, Rachel, anything?
And, yes, Du Bois County, we are one of the highest ranking collecting medications. So, and some counties do not even have these days. So to take part in this is absolutely necessary to get that, to make sure that we get those medications out of the cabinets and off the streets and such like that. So
We have a reputation to uphold. We gotta
yes, we got to keep
keep
those
our
numbers in.
status.
Yeah, in a weird roundabout way, but it is for a good reason. And again, I think I recently did a medicine cabinet clean out myself, and there were bottles in there from like, and you could tell that the labels were from decades ago, or like the bottle itself was so dirty, so used, but we had it in there for what reason? Again, if you don't use it all the time, if you don't need those pills anymore, if they're expired, which surprising enough for me, an adult moment that I had recently was to find out that they do have an expiration date, and most of the time it's just a few years from when you buy it.
Yeah.
So hanging on to this stuff isn't really beneficial, and as you mentioned, if you have a new injury or anything like that, you'll get more. Like that's what pharmacies are for. They're to provide the good drugs in their confines of being able to do so. So.
Sure. And it doesn't just have to be prescriptions. I know a couple of years ago I brought like all of the expired vitamins. in our cabinet.
Yeah.
Animal medications and such. We can
Yes.
accept that because a lot of people do take that as another resource just to.
I'm a pet mom of 3 fur babies, and I found some allergy medicine for one of my dogs that I'm like, I don't need this anymore.
We do take all kinds of allergy over the counter, pretty much anything besides liquids. So
Yeah.
Just make it part of your spring cleaning.
Yes. No, that's exactly perfect point. I mean, it's in a weird way too. It's a family fun event where you're collecting the children's medication, you're collecting middle-aged medication, you're collecting the whatever older people you have to take care of or are taking care of yourself, vice versa. We all go through plenty of different prescriptions or, simple thing as ibuprofen, and if it's not serving you anymore, it's a good time to get rid of it, and it's
correct.
where it's going if it is if you give it away at this drug take back day versus throwing it in the trash, putting it down the toilet. Like we don't need that. We don't need that.
We have safer ways to get rid of medication in a safe, productive way.
Yes.
I also really liked your point about like older individuals. We have had a lot of people say someone that you love passes, unfortunately. We've had a lot of people bring whatever medication was left over just so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And that is a wonderful idea, a really safe way to get rid of that medication.
Very common, That's
It is.
It's kind of like when you're cleaning out your closet and you're ready to donate some clothing items, you give it to a charity shop so that you can resell it. But instead, you're just donating your prescriptions to this organization so that they can take it away and properly dispose of it. I think that's the best way I can analogize it. So. For people.
Yeah, you give us the medication and we give you the peace of mind.
Yes.
And there is a goodie bag. So
there is.
Oh, so what kind of will we talk about goodie bags here?
TriCap is handing out goodie bags. We have a lot of resources in there. There's been many things in there like seeds, pins, several things. So you just don't know.
Very neat. Well, see, everyone likes that F word, the free word. So if they can, even if it's exchanging some medication or just showing up.
It might be a coincidence since we've been doing the bags, the last few years. But
I mean, yeah, again, it brings people out for sure. And just for people who are, again, apprehensive or kind of still second guessing if they want to show up, it is, in a way, confidential. It's not like you're taking their information off of the bottles or anything like that. And they don't need to RSVP, or do they?
No.
They do not. They just show up and we'll take their medications and put them in our appropriate boxes.
Good to know.
So.
Yeah.
And then we do have a survey that whenever they come through the drive-through line at the ISP post, that we just ask them some questions, kind of go over their age, like guess it, and then ask them how many people is involved, the medications and such, see if there's any vape pens, sharps, because there have been a major increase in sharps here lately, so there's been a lot we've had to take and cycle, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but take them and dispose of them the proper way.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's the thing, too, is that you have to be conscious about, okay, you're handing over this and giving away all the troubles that come with it, but at the same time, then there's still going to be a few more hands on it at least to get it to where it needs to go. So you guys need to know what's in there so that you can dispose of it properly. That's kind of the one trade back with this specific type of item. So.
And it's really mostly demographic information. Like,
That
we
too.
want to know how many people we're serving by doing this. So if you bring in a bag of medication that maybe represents your entire family, we're going to ask how many individuals
Yes.
contributed to that, as well as where you heard about us, because we want to make sure that we are the most effective in our advertising as well.
And the radio and news paper is still up there.
Yes.
Actually. So social media is getting up there, but yeah, newspaper is still the highest right now.
Oh, and I was going to say, too, there's no quota for the goodie bags. It could be 1 bottle of pills or 87.
Can I
So
bring
they're
you a
goodie bag.
random pill I found in a jacket pocket that I just saved for a good time?
Drive through, yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
accept
it's suspicious. However, we're going to take it. We're not going to
Okay.
ask you any questions.
See,
so.
that's good to know, because again, I think a lot of hesitation from folks around here. I hate to say it because I say it so many times on different topics here, but the hesitation is just taking that first step and being initiating that move towards something different.
Yeah, and this is a no judgment situation. Like, whatever you have or don't have, like, we're not sitting there being like, oh, this is gabapentin. Like, oh, we got some good. We put it in a box
even
and it
look
goes
at-
where
yeah.
it needs to go.
Yeah, that's, I think, the peace of mind for people at home, knowing that you aren't doing anything malicious with it and things like that. It's just a way to get rid of some stuff. It's spring cleaning, like we kind of touched on before. So to remind everybody at home, it is April 22nd, 2023. Again, that is on a Saturday from 10 to 2, 10 to 12 in some areas, and then 10 to 2 at the Indiana State Police Post.
Correct.
And again, it's anonymous. You just drop it off, fill out some questions, some generic questions if you think about it, and it is supposed to be pretty painless, hopefully.
Yes.
It's a drive-through.
Yeah.
And bring your dogs. I love petting dogs when I see them come through the
And
drive-thru.
I've got plenty
Yeah.
of paperwork here as well, so we will be putting both the English and Spanish version on our website, WJTS.tv, in case anybody needs it from themselves. And we'll hopefully get the word out so you get some newcomers as well.
Yeah.
So the Du Bois County Substance Abuse Council, what's going on there? What do we need to know? What is the organization about?
Wonderful question. So, the Du Bois County Substance Abuse Council is what is called a local coordinating council. And per state statute, I think it's either the late 80s or early 90s, designated that every county in Indiana will have one. Now, they're all called something different, and ours would be the Substance Abuse Council. So, the basic idea is that individuals who are convicted of a substance use related crime, so that could be possession, it could be OWI, it could be literally anything related to substance use. Part of their court fines are designated to come back to us. And then our job is to grant those funds back out in the community to people who are combating substance misuse. So it could be equipment for the police department. It could be funds for the medication collection day. It could be whatever we need to do to make sure our community and county is safe.
Yeah.
And so our council is comprised of really a variety of leaders in the community, because substance use is a multifaceted issue. You know, it impacts the workforce, it impacts the schools, it impacts everything. So just a really great group. We do meet the second Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. at the library, and it is open to the public. So anybody who wants to come and learn more, you can find us on Facebook. Just search Du Bois County Substance Abuse Council. We have a little notch underneath the county website for our website as well. So yeah, I think we're really accessible, and anybody who has questions or wants to know more, reach out.
Yeah. And you
Always
know,
find out information, resources there, and events and such. It's a good time.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
Every
it
time
is.
people make connections, they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
there
you're
are always
working on this?
connections,
So am
yep.
I. Or I know who you need to talk to. See me after the meeting. And I'm just like, it's beautiful.
no, that's really neat. And of
is.
course, anybody at home now knows Rachel and Jenna, so if they see you out and about, it's, again, making that introduction like, oh, I saw you on TV. This is really neat. I'd love to learn more. It's, again, making that community and making it smaller so that we can all thrive. I think that's the basis of what you guys are doing, and it's great work that you're doing for the community.
You could literally come up and be like, hey, aren't you the drug lady? And I'd be like, I think so.
I think so, maybe. Drug in a good way, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, that's good to know. And again, all your resources are online, or you can just come out and talk to people. That's what people need to make sure that they understand.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you so much both for sitting down with us today and talking about a slew of things, but all good things that need to be talked about. And we appreciate you on 18 WJTS in.form. And of course, we want to see more from the DuBois County Substance Abuse Council. So anytime you want to come back, you just got to give us a ring.
We'll be back late summer to talk about the overdose awareness vigil in August.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Well, this is Jenna and Rachel, both involved with the DuBois County Substance Abuse Council, both in their own separate ways, doing a bunch of great things for the community. And you have been watching 18 WJTS in.form. Again, Prescription Drug Medical Take-Back Day is on April 22nd. So get out there, and if you're not able to get out there, there's plenty of resources to figure out how to properly dispose of your drugs and anything else that may be harmful to other people. And we are local people watching local people.